every form has a submit button at the end. So here you are using a button attribute for that submit button, and you are saying the type as submit, and the button name is going to be sign up button. So this is how generally you will create forms in HTML. So because there is some data that you are writing on the forms, that data has to go somewhere and get stored and processed, and all will actually be taken care of this line. So if you look at the demonstration of this website, so this is the form that you have created. So username is the label, and this is the input box. Email is the label, and this is the input box. Password, so because you have written password type, whatever I enter is not going to be shown to you. And we have this button, sign up button, and if you click it, so because you have mentioned all the fields are required, so it will ask us. So if we click on sign up, so because see, it is actually taking you to sign up process PHP, but because we have not built the backend, you are getting the error like file not found, because that page is not existing and we don't have any backend. So that is how the data once you type will be processed by some pages to store it in the backend. So backend here means some database or some files it can be. So this is how you can actually design simple forms on the HTML to ask data from the customer. So another thing is by adding some more input elements to your form. So in form, we can ask any data that we actually require. So here if you take this registration form, which you are seeing on my screen, you are asking the person's first name, middle name, last name, and you are again asking full name. So you are actually asking date of birth, which consists of input fields like date, month, day, year, and you are asking the gender, which means male or female, where they have an option to select one by using the radio button. So these dots are called as radio button. And again for country, you are giving a drop down, and email, phone number, password. So there are many input fields that you can give based on your requirement, and these are some of those input fields. And you can even further add some more attributes to those input fields like minimum length. So if you ask a user to input their name cannot be just one single alphabet, right? A, B, C, D. So you should not accept that type of input. So what you can do is by using this minimum length attribute, you can restrict the user that name, if you are entering the name, it should be at least 4-5 characters. So minimum length equals to 4. So if you mention like that, what happens is if the user enters just 3 characters, 2 characters, or characters less than 4, then the form will be telling an error like this name should be at least of 4 characters or greater than 4 characters. So that is about min length attribute. You have the similarly opposite thing for maximum length attribute, which limits how many characters you have to enter in the input field. So this maximum length, for example, you can use it for phone numbers. So generally our mobile numbers are of size 10. So if you enter more than 10, it is not correct. So what you can give to mobile number attribute is mobile number attribute of max length equals to 10. So they can actually type less than 10, but they have to definitely type 10 elements, but they can't go to 11, 12, 13, 14 elements. So greater than 10 will not be accepted if you give max length as 10. So this max length is not only for numbers, but for any text field you want, for whatever input field you wanted to give some restriction on the number of data that they wanted to enter. Then you have placeholder. What is placeholder means? You have the input box, right? So on the input box, you wanted to mention like what the user should be typing, then you will be using this placeholder attribute. Autofocus is nothing but once you are typing on an input field, that gets automatically focused, means highlighted. Then you wanted things to be highlighted. You wanted those input fields to be highlighted, then you will be using this autofocus. And then we have this type attribute, which we have seen earlier, to mention what type of input field it is. So it can be a text, a number, email, password, button, and all. So to identify which type of input field it is, we will be using this type attribute. So if we look further, the enhancements that we have done from the previous one to this one is mostly on the type field, on the different attributes that can be further used in forms. So as seen earlier, type will indicate what data type the input has to be. So here text, here email, here password, and submit type. So for this label, for username, you are giving an ID as username and name as username, and required. So required means this input field has to be compulsorily filled by the customer or the user. So you cannot leave this field blank. So that is what required means. So as seen earlier, autofocus means once you enter into that box and start typing, that box gets highlighted. So you are again giving the restrictions on the name. So it should be at least a minimum of 3 characters, and it should be of maximum of 20 characters. So the length should be in between the range of 3 to 20, and you cannot type less than 3 or more than 20. So this is the placeholder. So placeholder will indicate what should be written in that input box. So here the placeholder is indicating enter your username. So similarly for email also you can see. So type email, ID is email name. So again here also we are mentioning as required. So that means it's compulsory, and the placeholder indicating enter your email. So you have again password of type password, ID password, and minimum length. Here you are using minimum length and indicating that password should be at least of 6 characters, followed by the placeholder enter password. And here again you are having this confirm password. So if you look at the attributes that you are using here, so password, confirm password, name. So here also you are again imposing the restriction of minimum length that should be of 6 characters, followed by the placeholder confirm your password, and the button. So you have a button, so you are mentioning it as submit type and clicking on sign up. So if you save this and open it in our browser. So now initially all the blocks are empty. So here when I move the mouse to username, you can see it is highlighted with the block. Now if I go to email, it is highlighted. So this is called as autofocus. And now you are able to see enter username, enter your email, enter your password, confirm your password. So these are nothing but the placeholders that you have written, indicating what has to be written. Once you start typing, that placeholders will automatically disappear, and whatever text you type will actually be taken into the backend. So I just filled my username and I'm clicking on sign up. So because you mentioned required attribute, so it is asking me to fill email. So suppose if I fill email also, if I click sign up, because RR is not a valid email address, because you should have at the rate and you have a syntax how these emails have to be there. So if you look into that, then if I write q at the rate gmail dot com, now this is a valid uh, signature for an email, so I won't get an error. But if I again click sign up, because password and confirm password fields are also mandatory. It is again show asking me to fill even these passwords. So because you mentioned password should be of at least 6 characters, so I have just used 2 characters. So again, it is an error. So if I again use 6 characters and click sign up, it has to match to confirm password also. So sign up. So now the form data has been stored and it is trying to actually go to the back end and save. So because we don't have a backend, it's how the form is working. So I hope this uh, demonstration of the form and whatever attributes that we have seen so far are clear. And coming further, so on the website, not only text tables, you have YouTube, right? So if you open a YouTube website, you have mostly videos. And if you go to some images related website, then you will find everything as images. So on the website, it is not only about text, but you can actually add images, video files, audio files, posters, and all. So for all these to be seen on the website, you actually have tags related to them. So normally to add an audio file, if you have an audio file and you wanted to add it to your website, you can use this audio attribute. So once you add audio attribute and give the link to it, the HTML page will automatically know that it is an audio. So you should provide a play button, pause button and all, and a progress bar and all. So similarly, you have a video attribute where you can actually add your video link and uh, which will make the HTML page know that it is a video file, and it will also provide the requirements what has to be there for a video file. And coming to iframe, uh, iframe is similar to video and audio, but here what happens is uh, whatever video, image, audio that you actually wanted to provide is not from your side, but it is already somewhere existing on the website. So suppose if you have Google Maps, so here the example is Google Maps. So Google Maps is already built and it has a nice view on how to see the locations and all. So if you wanted to use Google Maps on your website, you can actually provide the link of Google Maps on your website by using this iframe. So what iframe will take care of how to display this external thing on your website. So iframe will take care about it. So instead of you focusing on how it should be displayed, how much size it should be displayed, what should be the background and all, you need not worry about that. iframe will internally set that external website on your website. So earlier we have seen the same thing. So now audio controls. So if you are adding an audio file to your website, you should be using this audio attribute type. And here source indicates from where this audio file is going to be provided. Normally SRC you will actually give the link of your audio file. Here I am writing audio/mp3. That means in my local computer, there is an audio folder, and inside that audio folder, I have a file named as music.mp3. So, and what type of file it is? It is audio MPEG. So, in audio files, you have different types of audio files, right? MP3, MP4, MPEG. Even for images, you have JPEG, EPNG. So, what type of audio file it is? You are mentioning it here. So, as every HTML attribute has a closing tag, even this audio has a closing tag. Now, you have video. So, here you are trying to add a video. So, how much place that video should be displayed is what you are indicating with the help of width and height. So width is of 320 and height is of 240. And source, here again in the source, you are indicating the link of the video file. So here in the example, there is a folder called as video, and the file name is video.mp4 and it is of type mp4. So again, iframe is nothing but you have seen it when you are not providing the files, but you are actually getting that from another website, some other website. So iframe tag followed by the link of that website. So this is the link of that website and how much height width you wanted. You wanted it to allow full screen or not, and all, followed by the closing iframe tag. So if we save this. So you can see here the other things are same, but if you see at the bottom here, because I have used an audio tag, it is trying to uh, provide the requirements of an audio tag. If the audio file was really there, if I click on this play button, it would have been played for you. Because that audio file does not exist, it is blank. And I have mentioned here a video file. So because that video file is not there, and the just video is not there, is the error is coming for you. Now I have added a Google Maps link. So because of that Google Maps link, by using iframe, you are able to see that external Google Maps in your website. So this is how, if you wanted to add any media related things, you will be using these tags in the HTML. So this is all about the second lab in your HTML course. I hope it is clear. Let me know if you have any doubts. Yeah. In case if you have no doubts, we can leave the call. Thank you all. Have a nice day.